So as I've been building this BMW F30, I've been trying to do it in a super clean way. I've been trying to use nothing but good quality parts, nothing cheap, so everything fits right on this car. And I've been doing a pretty good job, I think. However, I'll be honest with you guys, there's a lot of hidden damage on this car, and we're going to be running through all of that today, and we're going to try to fix as much of it as possible today as well. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video, and welcome back to another freezing day here in New York. So I should clarify about that intro, guys. Some of the hidden damage on the F30 was already on the car when I first bought it. However, I never really addressed it. And then some of the hidden damage was honestly from me. I'm not gonna lie, modifying this car, doing a lot of things to it. First, I wanna show you all the hidden damage on the car. And then after that, I'll be telling you what we're gonna try to fix and what honestly we're probably just gonna let go. So we're just gonna jump right into it, guys, because it is freezing and I don't wanna be out here for too long. So one of the first things that's hidden on this car that probably not a lot of people notice is this paint is far from perfect. So if you guys don't know, this is black sapphire metallic. It is a beautiful color on this F30. If you guys don't know, you can't tell because of the tinted windows. This thing does have red interior, so the black with red interior is such a beautiful combo. However, this car in particular had a lot of scratches and a lot of imperfections on the paint. Hopefully you guys will be able to tell, but some of the worst spots are on the trunk. So I don't know if you guys can see, there's a whole bunch of scratches there, besides just like spider marks and all that typical stuff. Thankfully though, it's not something that you can tell on camera, and it's not something you can really tell unless it's under the correct lighting. So unfortunately guys, we have to let it go. However, the next thing, although it came on the car, I kind of caused it to happen. I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So that has to do with the front end, and I'll be honest with you guys, this is something that's not really hidden damage. It's just something that's like should be corrected on the car. I just never really corrected. So when I bought this car, one really nice thing about it was the front end was already PPF'd. It wasn't like fully PPF'd. It was like one of those pre-cut kits, probably came from like a dealership or something like that. Regardless though, it was nice that this thing was PPF'd on the front because I do daily drive this car. I drive it on the highway. However, as you guys may or may not know, I converted this thing to an M Sport, so that means it has a brand new front bumper. Unfortunately though, this new bumper is not PPF'd. I did paint it, I did get it like paint matched and all that type of stuff, so it does look good. However, because the hood, the fenders are PPF'd, it looks a little off. And although it's something that's small, it kind of just drives me crazy. Not only that, but we're also now lacking that PPF protection on the front bumper, which is probably the one that needs it the most. So yeah, although not hidden damage in a way, guys, still something that we really should correct on this car, especially if I'm gonna keep on daily driving it, and especially if I want to take care of it. So this one also is kind of caused by me, but this is not something we're gonna be correcting today, guys. PPFing is not something I think I'm capable of doing, and I feel like if I buy the kit myself, I'm probably just gonna screw it up and waste a whole bunch of money. I'll probably take it to someone to get PPF'd, but again, that's not something we're gonna be solving today. The next things though, we are gonna be trying to resolve today. There's a few of them, unfortunately, and all of those ones, like I said, guys, are caused by me. So rather than just showing you guys all of the hidden damage, I'll say this: there's 3 items that we're going to be trying to fix today. I'm just going to go through the first item, we're going to try to fix it, then we'll jump into the next item, we'll try to fix it. No promises that we can fix everything today, so if I kind of fail or give up, because again guys, it is freezing cold right now, you know, it is what it is. We'll come back to it later, but for now guys, let's just jump into the first real hidden damage item, and that has to do with the rear, and it has to do with the mud flaps. So if you guys recall, when I installed these mud flaps, they did turn out to fit really nicely, but since I have this rear splitter, if you guys can tell right there, it's kind of separated, and although I know it's like a very small thing, it just drives me crazy. I just really want this thing to like sit flush right on the splitter like that. I think it'll just look a lot better. It's something that I notice all the time, and it bothers me. When I first installed these mud flaps, I did notice it and I wanted to fix it, but I didn't have anything to fix it with at the time. The kit came with like a certain amount of screws and all that. However, it didn't take into account the splitter because not normal cars have this splitter. It's just something I installed on the car. So I wanted to get some self-tapping screws so I can just take one and put it in there just to hold it against that splitter and have it all sitting flush. I just didn't have any at the time. I thought I had some. I thought I had like a box of them. Unfortunately though, I couldn't find it, so instead I'm going to be using something else that might end up working a little better or might end up being worse, but we'll find that out. So although I couldn't find that box of self-tapping screws that I thought I had, I was able to find a bag of these. Now, if you guys work on your car pretty frequently, you probably recognize this. This is like a bolt, screw, whatever you want to call it, that usually attaches something like the bottom panels on the car, so like your bumper, your fender liner, and all that type of stuff. The nice thing about this, guys, is one, it's black, so it's going to blend into the mud flap pretty nicely, unlike a silver screw. And then the next thing is it's wide, so it should better hold the mud flap instead of just like a skinny screws. But this is all just trial and error. Again, I'm going to try to fix these issues, but there's no promises I'm going to be able to fix all of them. Alright guys, super simple, super easy, but as you saw from that clip, I was able to get it done, and it literally did exactly what I was hoping it would do, which doesn't happen too often, honestly. But yeah, as you guys can see, now this mud flap literally sits flush on this splitter, and it looks like it's almost one piece. Here is just a look at the bolt that I put in. Hopefully you guys can tell with the sliding, but this thing actually worked pretty nicely. Again, it looks like it's already part of the car because this is a OEM BMW hardware piece, and also it's black, so it blends in and you can't notice it. Here is just one more look at the final product. Again, I know it's such a small, simple thing, but this just makes me so happy. Here's a quick look at the other side, just as a reminder if you guys already forgot, but this is what it looked like at first. You have all this gap right over here, which just doesn't look the best. But now on the other side, it looks way better. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this one a win. Now I still have to do the other side, which sucks because I'm already freezing, guys, which is really bad. We're only on the first like hidden damage piece. There's still 2 more things that we're gonna try to resolve today. My hands are already going numb. My nose is running. I'm just being a baby, honestly. Anyways, we're just gonna power through this, guys. Overall, I'm super happy with this. I'm gonna just do the other one off camera so you guys don't have to watch the same thing again. So right after this clip, we'll jump into the next item. All right, guys, thankfully the other side went pretty smoothly off camera as well. And now, as you guys can tell, this side is also flush. Such a small thing, but in my mind, it's so big, guys. Like, I'm so happy. This looks so much better now. But with that said, we're gonna move on to the next item, which is actually right over here. If you guys watch my M Sport videos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And that item is my M Sport side skirts. You guys can probably tell what it is, right, just by this angle right here. But if you guys don't know, when I installed these side skirts from the M Sport kit, they look really good. However, the fitment over here has been a little wonky. If you guys can tell again from the top, there's a huge gap. I can literally put my finger in here and just pull it back like that. It is pretty bad. Now, originally when I did it, it was only really this side that was giving me issues, and the other side wasn't too bad, so I thought I must have like broken something here. But looking at it, guys, honestly, I don't think I did. I think all the clips that should be there are there. So if we quickly jump to the other side, you guys can tell now this side as well is starting to pop out. Now, when looking at it closer, where I think I messed up is I think I shifted the side skirt a little too far up. So if I try to even like push this back, I can't because it's hitting this piece right here. So it needs to be like back a little more and then pushed in. And I think at that point, this should hopefully stay in. I don't really know because when I originally installed these, I really did try my best to get the fitment just right. I gave it a few tries, but I'll be honest with you guys, when I was installing these, if you guys recall that video, I also did the rear bumper on the car. So by the time I was done with the rear bumper and I started the side skirts, I was already exhausted. So maybe if I try again today, we'll have better luck. However, this one I'm not as hopeful for because, again, I really feel like I tried my best that first time around. But like usual, for now, I'm going to throw you guys on a tripod. I'm going to get my T30, take off all the T30s along the bottom. There's a whole bunch, guys. Unfortunately, I don't think I can really use a power tool because the T30s that are under there are very soft and brittle, so I don't want to risk breaking any of them. And then at that point, it should just be a matter of clips holding on the side skirt. So we should be able to easily pop it off and then try to pop it back in the right way, which is kind of, again, like I said, bringing it back and then forward. I'm gonna call this one, unfortunately, a fail. I've been working on this for much longer than I thought it'd be, so as you guys can tell, although it does look better, the issue is still there. This is still popping out. I can still just pop this out with my finger like that. It's not popping out as much because if you guys can tell, I did push this back and then I was able to get it forward a little bit, so it can actually go in if I push it in, but unfortunately, it just doesn't stay. As you guys can see, I don't know if maybe there is a clip back there that's broken or something. I really don't know. But regardless though, because I pushed this back, unfortunately, on the front over here, you guys can see the side skirt doesn't exactly line up with the fender. You guys can probably see that, but yeah, that's not too great. Unfortunately, that's off by like maybe close to a centimeter, which is pretty bad. Thankfully, the mud flap actually covers it and you can't notice it as much. So as I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, and if you didn't know, you're probably able to figure out, this is an aftermarket M Sport kit, so you really can't expect perfection when it comes to aftermarket. Even the rear bumper and the front bumper have their imperfections. None of them as bad as this one. I would say this is probably the worst imperfection on this kit. So I think my next step with this, if I choose to go this route, is just to get an OEM pair of side skirts, paint them black sapphire metallic, and then install those on the car. It should bolt on pretty easily because unlike the front bumper and the rear bumper where more goes into it, the side skirts are pretty much just like you take off the base ones, you put on the M Sport ones. So I don't know if I want to do all that because I do plan on selling this car eventually, not anytime soon, but do I really want to spend, I don't know, a couple $100s on the side skirts, another couple $100 getting them painted, and then just having these ones sitting doing nothing? I don't know. So right now, guys, we are 1 for 2. We were able to fix the mud flaps, but we were not able to fix the side skirts, which was the one I was really hoping we can fix. But with that said, we're gonna jump into the third item, which I'm becoming even less hopeful for because it's only getting colder and we've wasted a good amount of time on those side skirts. And the last one, although it's another small one, the resolution would have been a big undertaking. Not a big undertaking, but still not a quick and easy one. So the last item on the car that I was hoping to fix today is this rear diffuser. Now, if you guys don't know, this is a real carbon fiber diffuser, and whenever you're dealing with diffusers on these cars, fitment is always tough, especially with a real carbon fiber one, because carbon fiber is not as flexible and malleable as plastic. So this one, although it fits well on the center, on the edges here, you guys can tell it's been popping out. Now, as you can see better from the top, the rear bumper stays pretty straight right over there, hence why it fits so nicely. And then around the edges, it starts to curve in, hence why it's popping out. Because obviously when the carbon fiber needs to bend, it doesn't want to, so it's gonna pop out. That's the case for this side as well as this side here. If you guys can tell, this side is also popping out. This should sit flush. Like if I even just push it in with my finger, you guys can see that's what it should sit like. But if I let go, it pops back out. This one isn't a big deal. This side is actually not too bad. However, this side I think is a little worse. So let's see, even if we can maybe just like push it in enough. Actually, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's almost actually flush. So I was actually originally planning on taking off the entire rear bumper so that way we can get to the diffuser from behind and then like better get it in there, maybe put something on so it doesn't pop out again. However, taking off the rear bumper right now sounds pretty miserable. My hands are legit starting to like crack from the cold. So being out here like another hour probably isn't a smart idea. But this is probably like a big shortcut, but honestly pushing it in like that helped a lot. I don't know if maybe over time the carbon fiber like became more used to bending that way, so now when I push it in, it actually stays in a little better. It didn't before, but now honestly this isn't too bad. Now it's not perfect, but this is way better than it was, and it's pretty silly because all I did was push it in. But now, yeah, even if I try to take it out, like it's staying in there pretty good. Again, I don't know if maybe over time it just got like used to bending this way and it's sort of like settled, if that's a thing. But yeah, now this is way better. I can definitely live with that. I know, guys, that's a huge cop out, literally the biggest shortcut ever, but honestly at this point I'm just gonna accept it. So we're gonna say we're maybe like 1.5 out of 3 because the mud flaps was a win, the side skirts was a fail, the rear diffuser was sort of a win, although we didn't even really do much. So we'll say 1.5 out of 3. But regardless, guys, I think we're good for now. I think just the mud flaps, honestly, that alone made me really happy. We'll probably revisit the side skirts later down the road, but like I keep on saying, guys, with this car, I really want to make sure that the fit and finish is really spot on. Like, I want to make sure I put quality parts on this car, that everything is real carbon fiber, that everything fits nicely, that the car looks good, that it's always clean. Again, I know that it's a daily driver, but like, it's almost show car ready in my opinion. So if you guys like this car, if you guys like the build, if you guys want to support the channel, please drop this video a like. It really helps me out. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Check out my merch store. Everything in there that you buy will help support the build, help support the channel. And yeah, stay tuned because we have a lot more mods coming for this car. Bigger, more exciting ones, and even still some more fine detail mods. But with that said, guys, this video is pretty much done, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.